Hello and welcome back to Arkham Horror. Cool air. Right, well I think we're in a bit of a pickle really. We've only sealed one gate. We're on turn 7 now. We're going to have to get a bit of a move on. Unfortunately we've frittered away a load of clue tokens due to various circumstances. So we're really going to have to try and crack on. Where we're up to is Charlie is in Arkham Asylum and he's hemmed in by the Moon Beast, so we'll have to do something about that. Skids is in the Great Hall of Celeano, where he's found a motorbike of all things. Roland is delayed in Yuggoth because something's took over his brain, and poor old Rita is just recovered at St Mary's Hospital from the back injury she got from the cultist. So she's got to get rid of a curse really and start picking up some clues. Right, so let's crack on and get to the movement phase. Roland is our first player this turn. So he's delayed. We've already moved his speed down. He's not going anywhere while he's carrying out jobs for the invading alien entity. So he hasn't got too much upkeep, but one of the things he has got, he's only got 2 clue tokens. It's a new upkeep phase. He's got less than 4 because he passed his personal story. So he gets an extra clue token. Perhaps the Mygo that's got hold of his brain is leaking out some information. Right, other than that, that's basically it. Hopefully he'll stand up this turn, and then next turn he can get out and he can actually shut that gate. I don't think we'll change anything other than that. So let's go across to Rita. Here she is, the lovely Rita. Hopefully she'll start having a bit of better luck. What I did actually notice is, although she's only got 2 monster trophies, she had 2 toughness for the Nop K, and it's actually 3 toughness for the original cultist that she got rid of. So she's got 5 toughness, and if she can get to South Church, she can get herself blessed, which will take away the curse that she's got. But before we do that, we'll just see in her upkeep phase whether she can get rid of it anyway. So first things first, roll for a retainer. Oh, she gets $2 before she actually rolls for it. So she's got 14 there, so she'll have 16. Let's put 3 back and take 5 out. So she's up to $16. She's like, rich, rich, beyond the dreams of avarice. Alright, let's roll for that retainer. A 4, so she keeps it. Now, we're rolling for the curse. We need a 1. Come on, a 1. Oh, a 6. We couldn't be much further away. Right, so we'll stick with that plan. She has 3 speed, and from St Mary's Hospital, she only needs 3. So that'll get her to South Church, and unfortunately she'll have to spend these monster tokens on getting herself blessed so she can get rid of the curse. She won't actually be blessed, it just sort of negates the curse. It's unfortunate. I would have liked to have gone to the science building and turned those in for some clue tokens. But never mind, at least we've got a plan for her and she can get rid of that curse, hopefully. Right, next up is Charlie Kane. Right, Charlie's in a spot of bother. He's hemmed in by the Moon Beast, which is a real horrible monster, but it's not very aware. If you remember having a look at it, it looks like a big albino mole. Consequently, it's not very aware. It's got +0. So what we're going to do is try and sneak past it. Charlie's already got +1 sneak as his skill that he picked at the start of the game. So +1 sneak. He's got 2 sneak here, but what we'll do, we'll use his focus and we shall move him down to 0 speed but 4 sneak. So he'll have 5 sneak to get past that Moon Beast. He'll only have 3 speed, 1 speed for Pickman and 2 for his motorcycle, but that'll be enough to get into the unnameable, where he's going to pick up a clue. We're going to have to start picking up clues again, I think. And in fact, he might even go, no, we'll go to the unnameable. It's a bit more unstable than Hibbs Roadhouse. So we'll pop down there. So that's his plan. Other than that, not much else to change. Eventually I'd like to get him to St Mary's Hospital so he could get his stamina back. I just want to check Flute of the Outer Gods again. Been having a bit of a chat online about it. Oh, it's discard. It was right. It was right. I apologise, Bobby man. You were right, it's got discard on it. I should have discarded it. So, but we didn't use it again anyway. So get rid of that. I'm so used to reading discard right at the end, not in the middle. So I've discarded that. So good spot, Bobby man. Got rid of that. Right. Damn. I was counting on using that. Just goes to show you should read the cards properly. Anyway, right, so he's going to go to the unnameable, pick up a clue. That'll give him 3. He also gets his $2 for his retainer. So again, we'll take 3 and put 5 back. So he now has 10. So, you know what? I was just going to hang on to the bank loan because I wanted to get the sanity back to use the Flute of the Outer Gods, but I can't because obviously I obviously had to discard it due to my idiocy and not reading it correctly. So I will actually pay off the bank loan. It says you can pay it off at any phase, so this way I don't even have to roll for it. So the bank loan goes back. An upstanding politician like Charlie, he doesn't run FIFA, he pays his money back. So, but he's still got his retainer, so we've still got a roll for that. But he's absolutely brassic now. A 2, so he keeps his retainer. Very good. And that's him done, I think, now. There's nothing else we need to do with him. No, he's got a plan, and he's going to do it. Let's move across to Skids. Skids, baby. I must admit, I'm liking playing Skids. He lives life on the edge. He's been on 1 sanity for how long? He just packs axes, Tommy guns, and just wanders about the place like ventilating people. He's amazing. And he finds motorcycles in other worlds. The man's an absolute legend. Right. He's in the other world. So what we're going to do is, he don't particularly need speed in the other world, so we're going to use his 2 focus to move him down to 1 speed and give him 4 sneak. The reason for that is he's only got 1 sanity. I don't want him fighting monsters particularly, though his will's only at 3, and we just need some horribly horrific monster to turn up, or one that's nightmarish and basically is lost in time and space. So we've got to hope that he can get out of this other world and can seal that gate, because we need to get some gates sealed. Right, that's him done. So don't think there's anything else. No, he hasn't got any bank loans or retainers or anything. Right, let's move on to the movement phase. And here we are at the main board. Right, first to go is Roland. So he's just going to stand up. So if he hadn't been delayed, he would have come out in the in the unvisited aisle and tried to seal that gate. But he got delayed. It's took him a turn to get rid of the Mygo out of his head. So he's now stood up and he's ready to move on next turn. Right, after Roland, it's Rita. And Rita's going to move 1, 2, 3 to the South Church, and as it says here, blessing. Instead of having an encounter here, you may spend 5 toughness worth of monster trophies or 1 gate trophy to have any investigator you choose to be blessed. She's going to bless herself which, as I mentioned, will negate the curse. Thank God. So they're the 5 toughness of trophies that are going to go back in the bag. And she's no longer cursed, so that's very good. In fact, I shouldn't have done that on the movement phase. No! But that's what we would have done on the encounter phase, so I'll just quickly whiz through that when we do the encounter phase. Hopefully nothing will happen in the interim. If it does, then I'll change it round. Right, next up is Charlie Kane. There's Charlie. We'll zoom in a bit on Charlie. He's right at the top of the board, plus the fact he's up to some hijinks. So he's got a move of 3. The first thing he's going to do is come out of Arkham Asylum into the downtown streets where the Moon Beast is, and then he's going to try and move to the Merchant District. But in order to do that, he's got to sneak past. Now, the awareness of the Moon Beast is +0. As I say, it's like a big albino mole. So he's going to get all his sneak dice, which is 4 sneak plus 1 sneak for his skill. He's going to get 5 dice. So 5 dice, and he needs to get a 5 or a 6. And he gets like 2 6s and a 5, so he's got past the rather unaware Moon Beast. So 2, and he's going to go to the unnameable, and he's going to pick up this clue. So he now has 3 clues. Well done, Charlie. And this time, unlike Rita, I'm not going to do his encounter. Next up will be Skids. To the full board again. Here's Skids. He's just going to get on his motorbike and tootle along to the next part of the Great Hall of Celeano, looking for the gate back to the graveyard. And that's it for the movement phase, and now we'll do the Arkham encounter phase. And first up we have Rita. Roland is the first player, but he's in Yuggoth, and this is the Arkham encounter phase. And Rita's going to do what I did incorrectly last time during the movement phase. Is be a good point to actually mention at this point. It's really important to get your phases right, like I just haven't done there. Things can happen if you don't do things in sequence. It can get terribly complicated, and the game can get complicated enough with trying to remember everything. So phases. It's part of the reason why during the videos they actually flash up each phase as we go along. It really does help when you're playing the game to get your phases right. So top tip there from Catweazle. Phases. Right. Having cocked up the phases myself, she's now got rid of her curse by getting herself blessed and negating the curse, if that makes any sense. So next up will be Charlie at the Unnameable. And here's Charlie in the Merchant District at the Unnameable. So no special text underneath the location, so it's the green location deck, the Merchant District, and see what we get for the Unnameable. It doesn't look good. You hear the scurrying and squeaking of a horde of rats from inside the walls. Abruptly you realise that they are moving to surround you. Pass a speed -1 check. Dun dun dun. What's his speed? I'll put it down to 0, like an idiot. And although he's got a motorcycle and an ally... Oh, no, he's got +1 speed because of his ally. His motorcycle doesn't count because it's just movement. So the 2 movement that I get from the motorcycle don't count towards a speed check. However, Richard Upton Pickman gives him +1 speed. So he does get 1 dice. So he's got 1 dice to make a speed -1 check, which puts him down to 0. So, I bet it's not nice. Let's have a check. Normally I don't like to check what's going to happen, but seeing as it's a clue token involved, Right, if I don't make it to the front door first, I will be lost in time and space, which means I'll be delayed. Is it worth being delayed? Not really, but seeing as we've only got 2 open gates and the doom track is only at 3, I'm going to allow myself, well, I'm going to allow Charlie, unlucky Charlie, it's going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me. I'm going to allow Charlie to be lost in time and space. Normally I'd spend a clue token, but as I say, doom track's quite low on 3. We've only got 2 open gates. I'm going to risk it for a biscuit and let him get delayed for a turn. So we'll put these back. We're not having much luck on the actual location decks, are we? They've been kicking us in the ghoulies for the past couple of turns. Right, I shall move Charlie to Lost in Time and Space. There he is. Charlie is lost in time and space. The rats got him, or some dimensional entity that was controlling the rats, and they've put him into time and space. He's on his side. Next turn he'll stand up, and then the turn after that he'll be able to go anywhere in Arkham. That's the only good thing about being lost in time and space. When you come out, you can actually pick anywhere in Arkham that you want to go. So with any luck, there'll be somewhere in Arkham where it's really important and really useful for him to go. But as it stands at the moment, he's lost in time and space, and he loses next turn, which is a bit of a bummer, really. Right. Oh, just check Ithaca. Check there's nothing about being lost in time and space. No, it's fine being lost in time and space when Ithaca's the great old one. Right, oh. So, next, it's the Otherworld encounter phase. Right, here they are, both together in Yuggoth in the Great Hall of Celeano, the pistol packing poppers. Right, so Roland's first. He's just stood up, so he hasn't moved this turn because he was delayed, but he still has to have another world encounter because he stayed in Yuggoth for another turn. So, it's the gate deck. We want blue or yellow. Yellow again, but we haven't got a Yuggoth, we've got another. There's a City of the Great Race of Dreamlands, there's no Yuggoth, so we read other. Suddenly you notice something that you previously missed. Gain 1 clue token. My god, a good gate card. The crowd goes wild. So he gets an extra clue token, which puts him up to 4. So no freebie next upkeep phase. And well, yeah, no, don't have to fight anybody, make some sort of skill check. Amazing. Right, well done. He should be able to come out of Yuggoth then next turn and hopefully seal the gate. Right, next up, Skids. Skids is in the Great Hall of Celeano, so we need a blue or a green card. That's a yellow. It's a red. Blue or green, please. Green. And there's no Great Hall of Celeano on this, or Celeano, as it's known on the card. Dreamlands, Plateau of Leng, so it's other. Pass a luck -1 check to find the gate back. If so, immediately return to Arkham. Oh, good, good, good. What's his luck like? His luck's 2. He's got -1. We can't spend a clue token because he's only got 5. But if that in shot, yep. If he can actually make this, he goes straight back to the graveyard. A 3, bummer. That's a pity. But he's not saved he wouldn't save too much time anyway. He's coming out next turn anyway. But that was quite good as far as Otherworld encounters have been going for us. That was quite benign. Okay, so next we're up to the laugh and titter phase that is Mythos. Right, let's get the Mythos deck. Will we get a graveyard gate, an unvisited isle gate, or will we actually get a new one? Let us find out. Independent Square, a different gate, shocker. Right, but it is what would be an additional monster. I don't think we haven't killed anything, have we? No. So Terror Track will go up, I think. But first, ourselves a funky gate stand, Independent Square, and get ourselves a gate. Doom token. That goes on. We're up to 4. And the top gate we don't look at. I nearly looks at, but not with my house rules, we don't look. So that goes up there. We'll put another Doom token on top of the stack. Right. Now we draw a monster. Let's see what it would have been. And the monster is, hopefully a nasty one, because it can't go on the board, a formless spawn. And they are nasty. Physically immune. Like an oil slick moving. Come and eat you. Right. Now normally, obviously it'd go here, having come out of the gate. But we have 3 monsters in the sky, 2 at the unvisited isle, a moon beast in the downtown streets, and a cultist at the graveyard. So that's 7 monsters in Arkham. So it overflows into the outskirts. But we already have 4 monsters in the outskirts. So these 4 monsters go into the tentacle bag of horribleness. And the formless spawn now goes into the outskirts. Because that's happened, that means the Terror Track goes up 1. So that moves up to 2. Which also means that an ally leaves town. Now Charlie could spend 1 clue token to stop this happening. But with the Terror Track only at 2, I'm going to let it slide. I'd like Charlie to get 5 clues and close the gate if possible. So I'm going to let it slide. I might not next time because it'll mean that the general store will close. So I'll just keep my options open. But in this particular situation, I'm going to let the Terror Track go up, which means we have to lose one of our allies. One of our allies is going to fill his trousers and leave town. Who's it going to be? So William Brinton, +1 maximum stamina. He just like challenges everybody to arm wrestling. The man's an idiot. We're glad to see the back of him. Right, not really, but he's left town. Right, next we have a clue appears at the unnameable. Oh, if only Charlie had still been there instead of getting lost in time and space. He'd have hoovered up that clue. Never mind, get a new one there for somebody else to pick up. And monster movement, we've got crescents on white. I think we've got a few crescents. The Wraith is a crescent, but there's nobody in the streets, so there's nobody it can attack, so that won't move. The Cultist is a crescent, so that'll move into Rivertown, which in fact will mean Skids can get back. He can close the gate anyway without interference from the monster, but the next turn, if it hadn't moved, he'd have had to fight it. So that helps a little. There are no other crescent monsters, and pluses on black. We've got no plus monsters at all, I don't think. No, so that's all the monster movement. And the headline, Big Storm sweeps Arkham. All monsters in the sky and outskirts are returned to the cup. Yes! A bit of luck! Oh, if only we weren't gonna. We had 4 in the outskirts, didn't we? And 3 in the sky. Oh, if only. If only it had come a turn ago, we'd have got rid of 7 monsters that were here. But, as it is, The farmer's spawn that's just come out is going back. But more importantly, these 3 sky monsters, they're back in the cup, baby. And we get those 3 stands back. So we've got 3 free stands, and there are now only 4 monsters in Arkham. Good news. Again, we've had quite a benign turn here. Apart from Charlie getting lost in time and space, it's been pretty good. So that's the end of the Mythos phase. This can now be discarded. We'll leave that the horror deck till next turn. Right, so there we go. That's the end of turn 7. Went pretty well, I thought. The monster limit's gone down thanks to that very benign Mythos card. We have got 3 gates open, so we're going to have to start closing some soon. We've been a bit tardy, only closing 1, and we've been a bit well, I've been a bit liberal throwing clue tokens around instead of keeping them just to shut gates. So that'll all have to change, and that will start changing next turn in turn 8. So thanks very much for the subscriptions and the views and the comments, all very much appreciated. I hope you're enjoying it, and you'll come and join me for turn 8. Toodaloo, bye.